want to spend a minute or two just talking about Redfin. Keith had mentioned it earlier. It is down sharply in the pre-market here. And the guidance for this coming quarter, Q1 of 2022, is for a massive loss. So $115 to $122 million loss. For perspective, in the first quarter last year, they lost $36 million. So what happened? Well, they went on a epic hiring spree. A quarter of their company in terms of workforce, and that's really what this business is, it's a giant labor force, was hired since October of last year. So like in the last 4 months, they've hired a quarter of their current company. And they did that into a significant slowdown in transaction volume. There's just not a lot of transaction activity when inventory is at record lows and getting worse. And now you've got obviously rates higher. So that's sort of adding an additional sort of suppressing dynamic. So, their iBuying business, this is what got Zillow into a lot of trouble last quarter. The iBuying business at Redfin will tell you is going great. And they're really doing well at it. And it's awesome that now they have one less big competitor. The reality is that business is barely turning a gross profit. Like this is the first quarter it's ever turned a gross profit and less than 1% margin. It's not a good business. It might, in theory, be an okay business at mega scale, but they're nowhere near that point. And it's very correlated to rate of change in home prices from a second derivative standpoint. So now that home prices have peaked in rate of change terms and are decelerating, that's going to be a bigger problem for them. So they're really caught in just a very bad spot here. And I think, this stock's come down, from basically $100 down to $20 in the last year. But I just don't see things sort of bottoming out for them here anytime soon, at least not while we're in this quad 4 environment. This is like the quintessential, it can work in quad 2, but in quad 4, like things come home to roost for these guys. It's not a tech company. That's how they've marketed themselves. And suddenly when the losses are piling up, the market really does care. And so that's what you're seeing this morning with a 25 to 30% sell-off in Redfin. So
on that point, Steiner, that last point's a really important market point. I mean, you end up with Roku, which we'll go through in a bit here. That's down 25%, but so is Redfin. One's a small cap, one's a bubble cap. Ami just goes through how a stock's down 60% and it's trading at a good multiple, 6 to 9 times revenue. I mean, for tech, that's a cheap multiple. Like in our career, that's not a cheap multiple. What's been going on for the last, really since the pandemic and propping up the really crappy companies like Redfin. I mean, this is like annihilation quad 4. We've made quad 4 calls before, but we've never had a quad 4 call where there are all these bubbles all over the place. And Redfin is every bit the bubble that everything else that we've been talking about is. And that's just, again, I think that's the main point here. And people are getting freaking crushed and in single stock ideas. And if they want to go to Chrome Dome Kramer's Investing Club and listen in on that, they can do that. But man, oh man, are you going to have a world of hurt by the time this quad 4 is over.
Hey there, Hedgeye Nation, or if you're not part of Hedgeye Nation, thanks for watching Hedgeye on YouTube. If you haven't already, make sure to click on the button below there. Subscribe to our YouTube page. You can also follow the link in the description to our website to get even more great investing content.